Hello there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Iduma, and in today's video we're talking everything Czech Republic, everything you need as a student traveling to Czech Republic. I'll be speaking based on my experience, being that I was a former student in Czech Republic, and I'm going to tell you all about it. But bear in mind, I'll be speaking from my perspective, from my experiences, and being, a young black African woman traveling all the way from Nigeria to Czech Republic for my study. So let's get into the video. So please do stay tuned towards the end of the video, because I'll be getting other people's opinions to add into the video, just so that you're able to get a well-rounded sense of the living experience in Czech Republic. Now, with the visa process, I would say this: the visa process is not as quick as if you're traveling to Dublin or traveling to the UK, I would say. So it takes a longer time for your visa to come out if you're applying to Czech Republic. It takes minimum 3 months, because my friends that applied from Dublin to Czech Republic, given that it's a European country, would expect it to be a lot quicker. It actually took 3 months to get there. And then I applied from Nigeria here, it took me 5 months to actually get my visa. So it's not as quick as you would think. So I would say, once you do get your admission, don't wait like a month to when you want to travel. Really apply soon. I do know of another friend of mine that was able to get her visa quicker than I did, and she applied here from Nigeria. I don't know if you know Jennifer Confidence on YouTube, because mine took 5 months and a half. I think hers took a lot shorter, but then I think it was mainly because she applied pressure on the embassy. So if you're somebody that it just happened that your time to travel just came a bit too quick, I would just say keep calling them, keep following them up, and don't take no for an answer with the embassy people. Okay, now with the visa process, if you're applying for a visa, you would need your passport. You would need to actually show that you have somewhere to live in Czech Republic, because if you're applying from Nigeria, you would need to show your WAEC results, your NECO results. But then that wasn't required of me when I was applying for my UK visa. So this is something to be mindful of. You would need the original copy, not a copy, not a photocopy, and they all need to be authenticated. You also too need to do a medical test, specifically the syphilis test. So you're also required to take that from any general hospital. So you would also need to show your bank statement. Because I'm self-funded, I needed to show a bank statement from my sponsor, which was my my parents, and I also needed to show my own personal bank statement. And you also need a photocopy of your card, like your ATM card for your personal account. I mean, any document you'll be showing to the embassy, everything needs to be in English and also in Czech language. So just in case for your accommodation contract, ask them to actually send you the contract both in English and in Czech Republic. I know my university did that for us. And your bank statement can be in English, and you also need to show your criminal record, like from the police, just so that they can just know your criminal history. Do you understand? In Czech Republic, they only speak Czech, not like they only speak Czech, like they speak English, but Czech is actually their primary and their first language. So if you don't specifically know how to get a translator, I would actually advise that you call your embassy, call them and ask them if they have a recommended translator. I would leave in the description box the translator that I used. Bear in mind that translation is not cheap, but outside the fact that translation is not cheap, they have to also DHL you back your documents. Do you get? So the DHL adds to the cost. So I spent around 198 euros to have all my documents translated. Bear in mind, you're going to have cost from that. And then the authentication of your results, just in case you're traveling from Nigeria, it's from the Ministry of Interior and then the Ministry of Education that needs to authenticate those documents. But then those ones don't really take time. Like that day you can have that done, so it's not a problem. The translation is also not a problem. They're actually quick with it, 3 to 5 days, and you have it with you. Now when you do land, there's always the thing about like the local taxis. They do say that they do try to like swindle you, like to charge you more. And then just because you actually don't know how the currency works, because they don't use pounds, they don't use euros, they use Czech crowns. So just in case you're traveling and then you're coming with like, let's say euros or pounds, you actually need to change that to like Czech crowns. And when you do change it, like, because you're not used to traveling there, it will be easy to like take an airport taxi, and then if you're in the UK, it's running with meters, But then there, some of them might not run with meters, and then they'll just like charge you way more. So I would recommend that once you get down from the airport and want to take, a taxi to where you're going to, I would recommend you take a boat. Boat actually works there if you like to. Ubers too also to work there. So Ubers, boats, like there's always airport Wi-Fi, so you can easily just connect it to the Wi-Fi and order your ride and get to where you're going to. It's just straightforward, you understand. And then like with the travel thing, just because you're also too very new to Czech Republic, there are like stories of people like carrying people, like I know I'm sounding as if Czech is scary, but like you get now, like the world is not safe overall. So like they're like all those kind of stories of like people like snatching you and taking to places that you're not aware. Just with boat, you can easily like share your ride to somebody, and then you're watching it. Okay, well, if you take a wrong turn, hey sir, why are you turning that way? Boat says turn the other way, and then your owners know where you are. So because you're in a new country, you don't see when you're in a new country, be careful, because they can say you they really can. Now let's get into accommodations. With overall accommodations in Czech Republic, I can't speak for the whole of Czech Republic because I only stayed in Prague, and I would say the more you move into like the central areas like Prague 5, Prague 1, Prague 2, the more expensive it is than Prague 11, 13, far out from the city center, the cheaper it is. So you kind of have to like weigh all that. Accommodations in Czech Republic are way nicer than Dublin. They are way nicer than the UK because they just have more space. Because like I don't know, I'm African, I'm used to like my room having space. I'm not used to 3x3. Not only is it spacious, it's actually affordable. People might have different opinions, but I feel it's more affordable. You can actually get a decent looking place for like 400, 450 euros, and it to be nice, like sick. You can actually get like a 2-bedroom too for like 600. To me, I feel like to get like a decent 2-bed anywhere in Europe, it's like 600 to like 750. 750 is just like the max to me, and then everybody can like split the bill. But then bear in mind too, with Czech Republic, I feel like you can get apartments in Czech Republic from Facebook Marketplace, Airbnb, and some other places that I would list down below too. With Airbnb, you kind of can trust what you see there on Airbnb just because Airbnb is the one providing that service. But with Facebook Marketplace, you really have to be a tad bit careful. Now here's why. On Facebook Marketplace, individuals are the one posting the places that they have. Landlords are posting the places, and sometimes what you see versus what you actually get can be a tad bit deceiving. So if you're maybe shopping from Facebook Marketplace, I would say shop when you are already in Czech Republic. Let's say you get a hostel, or because hostels are quite cheap, or you get like a hotel, or just you're in somebody's place for a couple of days. You can then with your own eyes go and view those apartments, just to avoid giving your money to somebody, and when you see the place you begin to shed tears. See, tears easy to get in Czech Republic. Czech is nice. Of all the 3 cities I have been in the past 2 years, Czech Republic by far is my favorite city. It's beautiful, like absolutely stunning. Outside it being absolutely stunning, it's affordable. Like the living cost there is quite affordable, but then that makes the salary you receive kind of low compared to like other European countries. Now you're not going to be receiving as much as somebody working in the UK or in Dublin, do you get? Just because the standard of living there is low, so whatever they're paying you can sustain you get, like you can survive, you get. Living there is a bit difficult as a non-Czech speaker because majority of people living in Czech Republic speak Czech, few speak English. Things are written in Czech, like when you go into the stores, the food labels are in Czech. It makes it a little bit difficult communicating with people in Czech Republic or looking for something in the stores. I would say Google Translate is your best bet in Czech Republic because they would be speaking like they don't mean to. They will even tell you like, my English is bad. So help them help you by putting it on Google Translate, exactly what you want to say. Put it on Google Translate, show them, they'll read it in Czech, and they'll actually look for what you want. And then if you can get those translators that speak it out loud, perfect, you're good to go. But to move around thinking you will communicate to them in English and then back to you. See, people in that post office, they will not take it from you because they're impatient inside that post office. There's only one righteous person inside that post office. Sorry to get into post office. I can't really answer that question because one, I was in Czech Republic during the pandemic and I was inside. I wasn't coming outside. So I can't really say there are a lot of people of color, but I will say this: the days that I was outside, you know, during like the springtime, a lot of people were outside. Because see, people in Czech Republic like being outside. They love the sun, in my own opinion. I wasn't really seeing a lot of people of color in Czech Republic. Like, bear in mind, it's not like Glasgow where you're like seeing, like, I don't know, when you group 50 people you might only see 3. It wasn't like that, but like it was still few. It doesn't feel like, you know, Birmingham where you're just walking, you're just seeing, you know, Hispanics, you know, black people. Like, it's not like that. You would see, but then it's not like you're going to see an outpouring of, you know, people of color. But then they are there, they are really there, but then they are not a lot. But then did I experience racism? I cannot personally say I experienced racism. I will say this for sure: they like to stare. I wouldn't categorize it as racism, but then they look. Like, I remember, like, you know, carrying out my cornrows out in Czech Republic and they were staring at me like they stared me down just because of my cornrows. Because they're not very familiar with a lot of people of color, you know, they would give you those looks. So, but then I'll get you other people's opinion on that particular topic on racism towards the end of the video, so stay tuned. In terms of classes, now classes can be taught in Czech or English. Let's put it out there. But then with Czech, it's not like they'll just, like, on a random day now, your teacher will just move in with Czech. No, nothing like that. You already know that your classes will be taught to you in English. How is the class experience now in Czech Republic? I can't actually speak for physical class because I wasn't taught physically. Majority of my lecturers, with the exception of like 2, honestly, spoke in English, and it wasn't like, you know, English that I couldn't comprehend. It was English that was clear and I could understand. Now, the ones that their English weren't so great, I would say this: they're aware that their English is not as great, so they're kind of like, you know, trying to speak to you. And if you were to ever have a question on something, I feel like their best mode of, you know, kind of clarification is to email them after the class. They will actually be kind enough to reply you, and it's easier to do that because, you know, the response you would get will not be typed back to you in English that you can actually properly understand, rather than him having to speak to you back because, you know, he's really struggling with English. I can't also to speak for all departments, but for my department, like the political science department, their English in that department in terms of their lecturing was good. But also to forget, I can't speak for all universities in Czech Republic because I only went to Charles University. Not all your lecturers will be, you know, fluent in English. Even the ones that their English is okay, it's not even fluent. You get, this is basic English. They can communicate to you, but they are knowledgeable. The thing is this: with my lecturers that couldn't speak English, you could tell that they are knowledgeable on the subject. They just are struggling to communicate it to you. And I would say this too: if you're in the process of, you know, trying to get admission or something like that, and you actually have a problem, both with visa, both with, you know, accommodation, both with anything, I would say the best mode of communication is email. And if after sending an email nobody responds to you as quick as you want, I would tell you this: call them right away. It's actually easy because sometimes all these places like school, accommodation, they get a lot of emails and it's hard for them to return responses back to you. So to make it easy for yourself, not even for them, for yourself, call them, give them a call, ask them your question. But then in Czech Republic too, just because Czech is their first language, somebody might be speaking to you in Czech. Be patient with them, keep communicating in English. They would pick up that you aren't Czech speaking, that you're English speaking, and they will redirect you to somebody that can speak English. I can't particularly speak on that. I will say this: a lot of my classmates did get jobs in Czech Republic, so that tells you it's roughly easy. But as I said, because I wasn't able to like work in Czech Republic, I can't fully give my opinion. But lucky for us, we have someone that has had that experience and she'll be speaking to us right now.
There are 2 ways to get a job after graduation in Czech Republic. The first route would be whether you apply from abroad and the company accepts you and decides to sponsor you and provide all the necessary documentations and prove that the only candidate they can have for this position is that person coming from abroad, and send invitation for that person to come in. That would be one way to get a job from abroad in Czech Republic. But to qualify for that kind of position, your friend has to be, or you have to be, very, very like brilliant minded person, because even the big companies are not willing to go extra mile for a candidate that they can easily find within the Czech Republic. They're not willing to sponsor someone from abroad to come in and work for them unless that candidate has brilliant mind, is a necessary asset to their company. Second and much more easier option would be to come to Czech Republic on a student visa basis, do some master's program or the bachelor's program, graduate from Czech Republic, and get a direct access to the Czech job market. Among European countries, Czech Republic gives free access for foreign students to compete in line with the normal Czech people in the job market. So if you graduate from Czech university, you can apply wherever you want. You can even become a waitress or cleaning. Nobody will care. Nobody will ask for a sponsorship visa. Nobody will ask for employment, like special kind of contract. They will accept any kind of job as long as you have a job, to get a job like employment visa in Czech Republic. In the case if you are applying from abroad and want to come into Czech Republic to work for some kind of company, it all happens from abroad. Like you apply for the position, company recruits you and accepts you, and then as a candidate, and then it processes your documentation, it prepares everything that is needed for the ministry themselves. It might take up to 4 to 6 months for them to process your candidacy and prove to the ministry that they cannot employ anybody within the Czech Republic because they haven't found anybody which would be worse for this position, and they have to apply somebody from abroad. They have to prove that to the ministry, and only then they can provide a contract saying, yes, we invite you for this position, come into Czech Republic and work for us. But for the second option, when you are already in Czech Republic and you have free access to the market, job market, you do everything by yourself. Like you find a job, you get a job contract, and you go to the ministry, and then you say, I want to change my status of visa from student visa to employment card. And you just gather all the documentation, which is a job contract, your accommodation, proof of accommodation, and several other minor documents. And you just provide them to the ministry, and they'll process it within 2 months max. And then they'll give you if you're approved, the decision if you're approved or not for the employment card. And in the case when you change your status of visa from student visa to employment card, you don't have to wait for your employment card to arrive in order to apply for jobs or anything else. You can work while you are waiting for your decision to be made. For example, my application was approved only in December, I think. But I started work in October, so I've been working since October and I haven't got my employment card yet. It will arrive only by the end of February. Because I'm a graduate from Czech University and I have free access, they have no problems with me working while I wait for my decision to be made. In terms of pay, Czech Republic doesn't really pay well in comparison with other European countries. Maybe it's because expenses in Czech Republic are slightly lower than in other countries, but the average salary would be around 1,000 euros. And if you're qualified specialist, and then you can consider yourself for the salaries much higher than 3,000 euros per month and all that stuff. So in terms of that, like the minimum wage here, I think it's like 500 euros or around 600 euros. So as long as you find a job which pays you around 500, 600 euros, you are okay to apply for an employment position, for an employment card. So yeah, that's it. Like, it doesn't really pay well. Most of the companies don't pay well, but then people say that you come to Czech Republic for a job experience, and with the experience you get, you go and apply for bigger positions in other countries where they pay well.
First of all, I would say Czech Republic it's a very safe country. Czech Republic is also, I'll put it, a dry country because it's not happening like Nigeria. I feel like all this happening kind of person, you really wants to go out, hang out with friends, I wouldn't say Czech Republic is really the place. Well, I've only stayed in Kladno and Prague, so I won't say for other cities. I would say I haven't experienced racism because Czech Republic people are quite nice, but the problem is just the language barriers. When you go to offices like this foreign police or immigration office to get your permit, some of the staff you might encounter turn out to be very rude, but obviously we have people like this all over the country, especially in Nigeria, because Nigeria we have staffs like this which are also rude to one another. So I won't call that racism. That's by the way. The old ladies are really, really nice, super nice. They'll try to help you. Basically, everybody here in Czech Republic are pretty nice. But the people I say you should watch out for, they call them Romas. They always dress haggardly. When you look at them or when you see them, you know that they are not really Czech people. They are basically the people that do this pickpockets and stuff like that, try to form cliques or gangs or whatever. But overall, Czech Republic it's safe. People are friendly. I haven't experienced racism as a black woman. Rent here, it's I would say for me it's still expensive, and your utilities, your electricity, you even have to pay for being a resident of let's say a city or a town for a whole year. In fact, Czech Republic has a lot of bills. I don't know, maybe it's just how European countries are. You pay bills. Head of TV license. One day I got a mail that we need to start paying for our TV usage of TV. That was the first time I ever hearing of TV license. And I don't make noise. Like anytime I'm watching TV, the volume is at the bare minimum. I just read subtitles. Because they're very quiet. It's not like Nigeria, we hear noise. Everywhere is quiet, calm. So you have to follow suit. Well, yeah, Czech Republic is a really nice country. At least when you're paying your bills, you know what you're paying for is actually working for you. You won't feel so bad paying those bills. If I'm to rate Czech Republic as a country, I rate it, let's say 7.5 out of 10. That remaining 2.5% is because of the language barrier.
If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It lets the algorithm know this is a content producer that you should hear more of. You should actually see, because their content gives you value and would give other people value. Share with your friends. Share, feel free, share. Take a screenshot and share my content if you did find it informative. Tag me if you share me. Tag me at Iduma. I will repost. Tag me. Thank you so much.